All right, here comes the fun part. This is where everything starts to come together. And so what we're going to do is we're going to put together, we're going to put together an ad for Facebook, a lead generation ad. I'm going to take you step by step on how to do it. So what I have here, this is my account because sometimes people they're like thinking that, people are just teaching them things and they're not actually doing it. So I want to show you that I am doing it. And I do got some of this stuff blurred because I mean, this my company. I don't want to reveal certain information to competitors that might be watching these videos. But you can see here, I'm going to just look at the last 30 days of what I've spent. We got 19,000 is what I spent. This is how many impressions. And these are all the different leads that we got from different campaigns that we did. And you can see here the cost vary. And the reason why these here, I did a test on these here. Reason why these were so much is because I tried to segment uh, something, did a little test on something, but it really didn't work as I expected because one thing that I did learn is that when you have campaigns that overlap each other, you have to be very careful with that. So that's why it's always be specific to have a different product or service offered, and it could go to the same group. But if you're offering the same product, then you're going to have to really kind of spread them out to have their own locations or own areas, or you're going to be advertising to the same people, and that's going to kind of make your costs go up. It was really a lot higher than this when I had made my adjustments. I had cut this down from like $30 down to 10. But you can see here with these campaigns, these are the ones that I continued with, and they're all the way down into the fours and fives. And something else that you need to know and understand is that when you're running uh, campaigns that you can't make like decisions off a whim. You can't like just because leads are a little bit high, you kind of have to let it float a little bit to see where they're going to come out at. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in some other videos. But the main thing for this video is so you can see how to make a lead generation ad. So what we're going to do here is we're going to create an ad. I'm not going to take it from one that's already existing. What we're going to do, it's going to be auction. If you hit reach and frequency, this will not, your ad will be out there more, but you will see that these type of ads do not get as much action as the auction. The reason why the auction ads do better is because what they're actually doing is you're making them get you in the position to generate leads using whatever their algorithm is, and then you're kind of paying based off of that rather than just paying to reach a whole bunch of people. So I would say, you could do your own testing with this, but I would rather you do auction. That's what's always worked for me. Then you're going to choose lead generation, and then you can pull this menu down and you can make, we'll just say test ad, and you can name your ad set. I'm just going to put them all the same and hit continue. Next thing, if you're running it for credit repair, you're going to have to put one of these special categories. When you do these special categories, it's going to take away from your choices on what you're able to do for your targeting of people. So we're going to say right now that we're not targeting credit type people. That is just a regular campaign lead generation. Uh, There's some other options here if you want to have a campaign spending limit. These are some optional things that you can look at. But I'm just going to go with the basic here. We're going to say $100 a day, or you can make this $10 a day. We're not going to turn this one on, so we're not going to use it. Campaign budget optimization. Yes, we want to keep this because what they're going to try to do is when you add different ad sets to your campaign, if you choose to do it that way, it's going to, choose the ones, the winners for you and kind of keep those going and disregard the other ones. And here's some other stuff if you want to schedule it, if you only want it to run during certain times of the day. So now I'm gonna hit next. The next thing is we got our forms, and we chose that there. And there's going to be this little box here. When you haven't ran lead forms yet, it's going to ask you to fill out this, to view this terms. And then once you do it, it'll say that you've accepted it, and that'll allow you to continue with being able to run an ad for lead generation. So now what the next thing you want to do is you want to make sure your location, if you're a local business, what you should do is you should put right here, you can put your address. I'll put our company address right here, and then you can put a radius. You can say 1 mile, or you can, do like 5 miles. It's up to you. Or 10 miles. It's up to you. Then the next thing is you want to choose your age. Based on your product, you should know what is the average age of the people who use your product. If it's something like food or something, it could be anyone if they just got the money and want to eat. Also, you can test this, or you can just have all genders, or if you're targeting male or female. For some of my credit repair ads in the past, I've targeted separately male and female, and the female audience did a lot better. But now the way that I do my ads, I just target both. This one here is detailed demographics and interest and behaviors. Now, if you're doing the ads where you had a special targeting, they're going to turn off a lot of the interest here. But if you're not doing any of those special uh, special targeted groups, then you're going to have this at your fingertips and where you can target people. So let's just say you live in an African American community and you want to target people who watch Love and Hip Hop because you believe that that group would be interested in what you had to offer. So you can do that, and then you can also grab more people off of the interest with their suggested interest. And you can see how this keeps building. And you can also see that this is around my location. If I was doing this nationwide, this number here would be huge. Now, what I tell people to do, not try to tell people to do, is to push to make sure that this audience is 100,000 or more. Because if you don't have a high enough audience with this, it's not going to be able to circulate your ad. It's going to make Facebook have to work too hard to have your ad be seen. So you want to make sure that you get as many interest in there, and you can see how this number keeps growing. If you can get it in the 200s to 500,000, that would even be better because you want to get that number up because it's going to give you more circulation for your ad. You can also go into more detailed demographics. Let me show you here. Interest, you can break down by education, the type of work that they're doing, the interest, the type of hobbies, behaviors. If they, you got politics, you got all type of stuff that people might be into. You can add those into your target. And what I suggest doing is kind of, if you're doing this and you have your ads working, you can start breaking off, if you want to, breaking off and doing, where you're only targeting a certain segment of the groups that you targeted from before. But again, this video is just so you can get going. I don't want to overwhelm you with all these other different options because more than likely later you can get into that. But also more than likely, if you get something that is working, you're going to just continue with it. Now, the next thing is that reach beyond your detailed targeting when it's likely to improve your performance. You want to go ahead and click that because you see this, look at that, it added more people because they know by their algorithm what they can do to get, if you have this group of interest that based on what they already know about their platform, that they can get more people that might be interested in seeing your ad. just off of the targeting that you've put here, they know from their expanded targeting. Now, you have your automatic placements, which are going to go with all the different platforms, or you can do manual placements where you can take away certain ones. The stories, this is what's on other people's websites, messengers, stuff like that. These are the feed ones, the marketplace, Instagram, in-stream. These could be on their platform or off the platform. It could be on apps. Like my company, my mobile app brings in ads from Facebook. Search, it could be when people are searching on Facebook Messenger, in the articles. These could be on other people's websites. And then you got apps and other sites right here. So you can see these would be more that are on Facebook. These would be off of Facebook. So you can click if you don't want to go on them. You can manually click which ones you don't, or you can just do automatic and they will, distribute it all across the board. This part here for cost control, uh, because you did the lowest bid, it's not going to allow it, but you can, let's just say that you want to get leads for 50 cents. You can have Facebook work hard to try to get you leads for 50 cents. But I can tell you that using that, you're going to have to put together a lot of campaigns for them to be able to do that. You're going to have to segment a whole bunch of different audiences. It's very difficult. This is more of an advanced strategy. Okay, here we go. This is just continuing from what up there. So now let's go to making the ad. So the first thing you want to do is you got your page that it's coming from, and then it's going to ask you about if you have an Instagram page. If you have one, then you'll be able to choose it. If you don't, you'll just be able to leave that blank. And then we're going to create ad. And then the first thing, because they're going to pull this image from your website header on your business page. So what you want to do is you want to change that. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to change to one of the images that I have. Let's get right here. Let's see what we got. Let's use this one right here. So we got that special offer. It got me sitting at the desk. And when you remember what I said, you want to use images of that, images of you or a real picture, not where you want to use like a stock photo. You can see where I tested with stock photos, and I had learned really fast that when you use an image that is real, people will react better. Remember, this is social media, so they're going to react better. So the next thing you want to do is you want to have your primary text, which is what's going to go above here. And what I've always placed was I helped clients prepare their credit and increase their score. So that's what I would put there, and then I would go here with the headline. You got a short headline, which is going to go in here, which is we'll just come up with something where we got a free info how to. So we got that. You can see it's populating right there. Next thing is description. This is going to go underneath at the bottom. We always put in we'll always put that in there. And that's going to go below there. Let's see if we get one of our variations. That right there will be filled in underneath this. It doesn't show on all of the ads that are ran on the platform. These are different styles. So here we go right here. This is the one that's in the feed. So you can see here the headline has headline and benefit, and then has my image here, and then free info how to repair your credit license on it in business since 2006. Display link. we always put one, even though it's not going to go there. If you don't put it there, it's just going to have this, say, Facebook form on there. So we want to have that in there, and they're going to put that above right there. Now, the next thing is you don't want to use sign up. You want to use the word learn more, because a person, they don't know what you're doing. So you don't want to scare them into thinking that they're going to have to buy something. Your objective for this ad, this whole objective for this ad that you're running, is to get them to click learn more so your form could pop up. So now uh, we have our form. You're going to have a list of forms that you can choose from, and you will be able to click on the form that you want. You can see these are basically all the same. It's just that changed a little bit around on them. So I want to show you the one. Let's see one that we got here. So you got this form. You can see that I chose to have a picture from the ad, so it put that into the background. And then so you could see right here, I want to just scroll through. You see here we got full name, email. Sometimes people don't put their full name, but we put it there. Email, phone number. So you're attaching, and then right here, this was that additional uh, option that we had available where they would just click this box to accept the terms. The terms were that someone would be following up with them by phone or text or email. You don't have to do that, but that was just something optional, additional that we put because credit repair services, just to uh, be safe because of the industry that we're in. The next thing here, which is if you've done this, is the pixel. You can have your pixels added into here. This is where you would put on your website. The pixel, and Facebook would know that people came and saw what you had to offer, and then later you can retarget to them. We're not going to go into that right now because that's going to be additional training, and also right now I don't believe that you're ready for it. I don't want to do anything to hamper you from moving forward. So now that we got all of that done, you want to just do one last double check of everything, and you can do that by looking at the tabs right here. Make sure that your pages, if you manage multiple pages, you just want to make sure that that's correct. Uh, Again, you want to make sure it's correct if you're not doing anything with special categories, then you don't have to worry about this. But like I said, if you're doing something with credit, even though you're not doing loans, but you're dealing with credit, the algorithm will pick up the word credit. So you have to choose that. And if you choose it, it's going to take away certain options that you have here. You won't be able to target people like this. You'll have to use more of a general type targeting by certain companies or shopping type interest, and maybe even with job, you would be able to be more focused on that. You won't be able to have this type of interest here placed in there. And then all you would have to do is hit this button right here, hit that, well, here, let's go to next. You hit this publish, and then it will publish your ad, and then you would just have to wait to see if everything gets approved. If it doesn't get approved, they will tell you right here in this section the reasons why it didn't get approved. Sometimes it could be because of your form, but if you followed my steps, I don't think that your form would get disapproved. And it could be something that on the way that you worded your ad. I know that you see a lot of people say you can get this or you can get that, but you have to be very careful because Facebook wants to not make it look like they're telling us as business owners the information that they are telling us from the targeting that we're able to choose from. They want to have it both ways. They want to say you can target people who likes this type of stuff, but they don't want you to come out with an ad and say, hey, because you watch basketball wives, maybe you like this, because that would be like a major invasion of their privacy. So be very careful, very, very careful when you're making your ads and you're using words that can imply someone that you know something about someone, or that Facebook maybe told you that they're interested in something. So be very, very, very careful about that. All right, so we're going to end the video, and in the next videos, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to do this same thing using TikTok, and we're going to also do one with Google. And just so you know, when you make the form here and you did not change your settings with the automatic placement, it automatically will run your ads on Instagram, and the form that you made will also capture leads the same way on Instagram. So you kind of get a 2-for-1 with that. All right, let's move to the next video.